Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a different angle because it's snowing outside, so it's very white and I basically look like a vampire with the outdoors lighting, so I'm just using my room lighting for this video. So if it's any different or it's annoying, I'm sorry, we're just working with what I have. For today's video, I'm going to be quickly talking through all the books I've read in November. I somehow managed to read 7 books, which is 2 more of what I read on average every month, so that's pretty great. And I mostly read romance, so let's get started and talk about those books. First up, I've read the first 3 volumes of Berserk. If you don't know, Berserk is a dark fantasy story about a man who's really good at sword fighting, and there's demons and monsters. It's extremely dark. I've read them because my boyfriend loves them and I wanted to know what they're about, so I've read the 3 first volumes and they're interesting. Like, I'm not hating them. They're not my favorite thing because they're very different from what I read, but they're not bad. If you don't know, they're mangas, so they are the books that you read backwards, which was really weird and difficult to adapt to. If you plan on reading them, I really recommend you checking trigger warnings because I did not, and there are some not very nice surprises, so keep that in mind. I've actually started the 4th one, and the beginning of the 4th one is so disturbing that I had to stop. Not sure when I'm going to be picking that up again, but we'll see. The first actual novel that I've read was The X Talk by Rachel and Solomon. This was my first Rachel book, and I'm so glad that I've read it. I honestly just really loved it. It was fun, it was charming, it was easy to read. I read it in like a day or 2. Follows Shay. She's a radio host that has her own little radio show, but at some point they need to do some budget cuts and her show unfortunately gets cut out of the station. Eventually Shay and this guy Dominic come up with a show idea together, which involves 2 exes talking about the ups and downs of their relationship, how it went down, how they ended up breaking up, and stuff like that. And the station manager or whatever who decides that Shay and Dominique are perfect to act as exes even though they never dated before. So they do just that because they both need a job. And the X Talk, which is the name of the show, hits off pretty good. People are loving it, and even though they're very different, they end up starting a little romance of their own, so that kind of compromises the show that they're hosting, but I'm gonna let you guys read it for yourself to see what happens. Like I said, I really like this book. I gave it a 4.5 and I'm so excited to read more of Rachel's books. Next up, I read another romance. This next one is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This follows Jess, who is a close to 30 single mom of a 7-year-old girl, and eventually her and her friend, they meet this guy in the coffee shop who is working at this app development thing about like love compatibility through DNA. So the guy just offers them like, hey, we're trying to do like just test subjects to keep our research going. If you want to donate your DNA, just mail it. So her friend does it right away. She's like, heck yeah, I'm gonna do that. But Jess is a bit more skeptical. She doesn't really want to at first, but she eventually caves and sends in her DNA. Not long after, she gets a call from the research program people, and they're saying that she needs to come to the lab right away. When she gets there, she finds out that she has a test score of 98, and she is compatible with River, who is the guy that she met at the coffee shop, who is one of the researchers of this project. So because they are launching their app very soon, they ask the 2 of them to fake date in public to promote their app and show that like it works. Eventually they do start catching feelings for each other, and that's all I'm gonna say. This was fun. I just didn't care too much for the romance, and There were a lot of statistical words, which I do not care for. This was a bit confusing at parts when they were explaining the results, and they're all words that I've heard before in my psychology bachelor, but still very confusing. I cared a lot more for the family relationships and the friendships. I gave this book a 3.5 stars or a 3 stars, not entirely sure, but I'm still gonna read more of Christina Lauren's books because their books have so many good reviews and everything, so even though I didn't love this one, I know I'm probably gonna love more of their books in the future. Next up, I've managed to read 2 Christmas books. The first one I'm gonna talk about is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. Maggie Knox is also a pen name for 2 people, I believe. Yeah, it's a pen name for Jenna Davis and Eugene Choi. The Holiday Swap is a Christmas story where we follow 2 twin girls, all women, they're like 28, I think. Charlie, one of the twins, is a co-host of a TV show, a baking TV show, and they're filming a Christmas special right before Christmas. And then we have Cass, who is taking care of the bakery in her hometown while her parents are away on vacation. At the beginning of the book, we have Charlie, who accidentally gets a bunch of pots and pans fall on her and leaves her with a concussion. That concussion also leaves her with, she can't smell anymore and she can't taste anymore. So that pretty much screws up her filming for the TV show, for the Christmas special. So what she does is she calls up her sister and says, hey, can you switch with me until Christmas? So that is exactly what they do. They switch, and Cass is now filming the TV show and Charlie is taking care of the bakery. From there, they both meet a guy because it is a Christmas holiday romance. And there's obviously some challenges with having to live the other sister's life, but they managed to go through it pretty well. This is basically a Hallmark movie in a book. I loved it. It was really fun. The cover is gorgeous too. And I think I gave this a 4 star. Finally, the last book I've read this month is also a Christmas book, and that is The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello. This is a YA contemporary holiday book, and I really liked it. I read it in about 2 days. It was a really quick read. It was really cute. In this book, we follow Leela, and she is working at this gift shop in her town because her town is famous for a certain movie that was featured in. So their town is very famous and they have a gift shop, and Leela's working there. She is hoping to get more hours during Christmas break, but little does she know, the owner of the gift shop actually hired her nephew to work during Christmas break and help out during Big Rush. So now, not only does Leela have like no extra hours, she also needs to work with this guy who just does not want to be there and train him and basically just spend a lot of time with him. Eventually, there's a little romance that sparked between the two. It's really cute, it's sweet. This was extremely Christmassy, like perfect for this time of year. I really recommend it if you like easy YA stories that center around Christmas. And I gave this a 4 stars. Alright you guys, that is all I've read for November. I'm hoping to read more fantasy next month. Let me know if you've read any of these books, and let me know what you thought of them if you did. Let me know what you read in November. Just chat in the comments about what you've been reading. And on that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!